It's nice that you're here to join my talk, Combine RCP and Web Applications. I want to show you a few slides before. That's me after getting the award, anyhow. I had a talk yesterday about the RCP 4.x migration, and that was a challenge, anyhow, and I thought about I need more challenges. And it wasn't enough. It was a lot of pain, a lot of work to do to get things up and running with an existing application into or with E4 and mixed modus. But the next step for me was to think about, we have a software and we have a toolkit which is available for the desktop. And the question is, we already have OCI bundles in our RCP applications. And we reuse these OCI bundles in a web application. And that was my topic within the last year, 1.5 years. And yes, it is. And that the steps necessary to do those things I would like to show you today. Before we do this, I would like to show you how the desktop application looks like. Afterwards, we will have a look at the web application and all the necessary steps. So what you see here is maybe one more question about the topic. Who of you already has an RCP application, an own RCP application? Please raise your hand. Oh, perfect, nearby everyone. Who has a web application? Oh, a few hands going up. Who try, or have you already also had the thought about combining RCP and web applications already? Oh, perfect. Have you a solution for it? Perfect, then you can do the talk, maybe? No. Yeah, I think we go into thorough discussion afterwards. Yeah, we know what kind of specific application it's called. My mouse is going sometimes wrong. It's a domain-specific application for chromatography and mass spectrometry. Who knows about this? He still sits there. Anyhow, it's about forensics and in general. So what you have is, if we, for example, have a look at the file, these are African woods, and we have a look here. We have a lot of peaks, and it's a lot of work to go also through all these peaks to evaluate. What I can show you here, we go to another perspective. It's called peaks perspective. And for instance, go here, have a look at this scan, or here have a look at this peak, and we see, okay, it's there's a UPAC name, chemical name, like 1.D-methoxy, and so on and so on. There's a mass spectrum to identify this peak, and we, which some people of you maybe know this one, molecule view. If you see it, then it gets clear. Wait a moment, there it is. We put it here, then we have a look here. So, okay, everything's clear for me. I'm a chemist. This is phenolic structure. This is from wood. Clear, it's a lignin compartment. But the point is, it's not about the software. What I would like to say is, we have a desktop application, and from my point of view, desktop applications are very important if you have a lot of data and if you want to go into details of your data sets. The opposite is, when we have a web application, I don't want to bring all this stuff into the web one by one. So I also had a discussion with Marcus and others, and I'm the opinion that those techniques, like just doing what we do on the desktop, doing the same way in the web browser, is a wrong approach, because I just want to have a small button, put a file onto, get the results, and things are done. And that's what I would like you to show now. What we did here is identification of a lot of peaks, a lot of stuff, integration, and so on. I now go here and say, identify a peak detector, delete all peaks from the chromatogram. Yes, okay, they're gone. That's good. I go to the file system, say where is my download folder, it's here. Say AP23 without, for instance. Without means without peaks, recognized it. And save it in the OCB format. It's somewhere down here. It's our own file format container, also open source. What we do, we have a software at the OpenChrome. What you see here is effectively the same as you get from the Eclipse Foundation, ChemClipse. So I'm the project lead on ChemClipse. And what we have now done is that we deleted the peaks. We go to the Chromatogram file explorer so that I show you the data that you not think I cheat on you. Go to the downloads folder without, reload the file again, no peaks in there. Perfect. Now let's have a look at the web application and the workspace. Going back here into my application or into my workspace, just to show you, okay, it takes now a bit time. So what you see here, that's my complete workspace with all the projects and so on, a lot of converters, a lot of identification stuff, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. As you could imagine, I don't want to rewrite all the stuff for the web. So I'm a lazy guy, and doing all the stuff again is not my style. So I thought about, let's reuse the OCI bundles in the web application. Let's go a step back. So what's necessary to do this? First of all, we need a separation of the model and the UI bundle. You raised your hands about, okay, we have an RCP application. Have you a clear separation of model and UI? No hand is going up. Bad guy. 2 hands up, going up in the and good, very good. Yeah, you get extra prizes. That's very important because what you see here in the workspace, when I go, let me see here, for example, we have, that's a bad example, very bad example. For example, we have a file here, genident. This is a model bundle, here is the UI bundle. So it's same all over again for ChemClipse or the Eclipse stuff. We have here the model bundle, here the UI bundle. Why is it so important? It's simple. In the web, we don't have SWT. So there we have HTML5 and everything. And when we have done this right, so that we have a clear separation of model and UI, which is also beneficial for your own application because it's then much better testable. You have a better, you can build your models. So I made very good experiences with it. Then we are able to say, hey, we have now a good separation. We have our model bundles, we have our OCI bundles. So what do we need next? The next thing is we need an OCI application server. So we rely on Eclipse technology. I had a look and I found Eclipse Virgo. Anyone has experience with Eclipse Virgo in the audience? Yeah, one hand's going up, good. Each time I make a question, at least one has to put a hand up. So yeah, even if you have it or not. Good, very good. What we need is Eclipse Virgo. And what I have to do now is to say, okay, I'm in my workspace. With other technologies like RAP or so on, you have to exchange the SWT layer against another layer. So, which in my point of view is not really single sourcing. So I want to stay in my workspace and I don't want to modify my workspace to use another library. I just want to deploy to the desktop with SWT and I want to deploy to the web with HTML5. And that's what we have here. We created a new, what you see here, I created a new plugin called Web App, where we have an index file and where we have servlets, which are deployed to Eclipse Virgo. A lot of talk. I think now it's time for the showcase. What I do here is I show you the. Okay, that's my Hudson build environment. So quite a lot of stuff in there. It takes around 4.5 hours to build all the stuff. But the good thing, I can build my web application also with Maven Tycho. And the plugin is seen here. I opened it, so you see everything is fine. Latest console output. He fetches the P2 repositories. He builds my plugins and finish. What's that? Anyhow. So we are staying in one workspace. We have one build system for I use Maven Tycho. Now we have a look at the script, which is now configuring, okay, where is my Hudson project? Because he goes there and fetches the libraries and fetches the bundles he needs to deploy into Virgo. Here's a Virgo release. So that's locally. I just downloaded a zip, and that's one other thing I like to show. We have here a demo MSL. That's a database to identify the mass spectra, which is then used in my application. And when we go back to the script, is effectively it's simply just unpack Virgo, put your bundles into there, start it, ready. We wouldn't have a talk if it is such as easy as I said. There's some small issues which we should take care of. The first is I use Java 8 in Open Chrome. Virgo has a constraint on Java 7. Ooh, yeah, damn it. So I had a look at it, and we all also had a talk here at the conference, and we will work on these issues that Virgo will support Java 8 in the next months or something like that. Anyhow, until then, I found a solution. I go through all my bundles, have a look at the execution environment, and just replace 1.8 against 1.7. So I'm cheating on my own application. It works somehow until the Java 8 Virgo issue is resolved. Sure, if you have signed plugins, then you have to remove all the SHA stuff, but we as software developers, we are known to workarounds. So without a workaround, I would have said, oh, it was too easy, I take something else. Okay, we have to change the manifest. Then we go to the configuration profile, say we use Java 7, then we okay, there's other errors I just discussed with the team. It's not important now. We go now to the Hudson server, and we use for the web application the future bundles all the plugins we need, and the update side then references again to our future. So we have all bundles at one place after the Maven Tycho build, which use directly to our applications. That's it. Then start up Virgo, and we can connect to the debug console. Let's start Virgo. We are here. I wrote some scripts. So start, modifications on the bundle header are applied. All the plugins are copied into Virgo, and everything is fine. So wait a moment, kernel starting. We get some messages here. And what we soon see is a really easy web interface, which can be used to detect and identify peaks. While the Virgo kernel starts up, so this is not the latest computer, so it's an older machine, so it takes a while on better machines than web, so it will be much more faster. Let's go back to where's the IDE. We have it here. My mouse is also making problems all day long. Anyhow, what we have here, we have an import servlet. So I will put it here to the side. And from the import servlet, you know, we have post and do get and everything. And I have a do post method where I say, okay, people can upload files. And then he tries to make a chromatogram or tries to load a chromatogram. And then he says, detect peaks on demand. Says he has a look, does the file already contains peaks? If not, apply a peak detector, which is here. Then apply the peak integrator, means integrating the area under the peak. Then apply a peak identifier to identify the mass spectrum, and then write the file back to the server space or file space. So what we can do now here, we can do, where is it, run, debug, configurations, to attach to the Virgo workspace. There we have it. It's remote Java application. So here we attach the local host 8000 and say now debug. Right, perfect. And have a look at the web browser. So build was successful here. Sorry for flipping around all the time, but yeah, I would have needed 6 or 8 screens to not flip around. Anyhow, you're used to it. So we're ready. Let's go to local host. Too long in the Nestor bar, 8080. There we are. So, easy page. This page created using jQuery and AngularJS. And effectively what we get back from our server is a JSON document with results and everything. And what we now can do is it uses Bootstrap, so nice to have a look or to show it on mobile phones and so on. So let's detect the file, go to the workspace. If you remember the file before, the chromatogram without the peaks, that's what we have here without. Say open, and now we import the file. Oops. This shouldn't happen. Okay, is our debugger running? Oh. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, maybe something with the debugging thing is going wrong. Try it again. 8080, let's select again the file without. Something else is going wrong. I tested this just in the morning, so I don't know what. Let's see what's happening here. Maybe this could be. It's not good to have a demo which is not. Okay. Now I see it's a file size. I saved the file which is bigger than 5. Also I had a constraint in there that we only can load files which are of size 5 megabyte and lower. So we go back into our application, into Open Chrome. So, and where is Open Chrome? It's gone too. That's crazy. Anyhow, we start again the product to load the file again. This is exactly, that's the same as Eclipse. And we have an option in there to say, okay, we can use a high or low compression to save files. In this case, we will now use the high compression and save the file again. So going here, going to preferences, say chronogram, we have, that's a good thing of Eclipse to have all these preferences in here. And we say compression was set to off. We say best compression, apply. I have to edit one more thing, but that's not the Virgo specific thing. That's an Open Chrome specific functionality. So whereas the download areas, we have it here. I can open it again, so save the file again. It takes a bit longer to use the high compression, but I think that's fine. So, ta-da, we have it's roughly 10,000 scans we have in there. A lot of data, fine. Now we have, okay, 3 megabytes. Perfect. This will work. Then we can go back into our IDE. And let's say run debug configuration. We have it here. Where do we have it here? The web app, it's still running. Say apply debug. Now it should work. Let's go to the web page, refresh, and say 3 megabytes. Sounds reasonable. Import. No error message. Who? I also had some presentations where everything went wrong. The complete presentation all over. It was a nightmare. So these problems are manageable. It takes a while. It takes a while because now the debugger waits for us and say, now we have the post request. And now he tries to load the chromatogram. And we say detect and integrate. Yeah, we have no peaks in there. Then he sets a threshold, makes a peak integration, going through. Now he does the peak. Now he identifies the peaks. Means it's multi-dimensional comparison. So like cosine phi or Euclidean distance or something else. Simple mathematics go there. Okay, this takes a while because you have a lot of data to compare. Now we write the file back into the file system. And here we are. Going back to the web page. Takes a while. It's writing. Takes a while to export all the data with the peaks and with everything. Maybe I've looked back in my IDE if I forgot to, I forgot to press the play button. No, here we are. Chromatogram is imported. Let's show the peaks. Here we are. We see we have a lot of peaks, retention times, areas. We have ethanol, we have furanone, and so on. I think you know all the things. And you can do it with 1 file, with 10 files, with 100 files. And that's exactly what I want to see as a web user, and not a big application into the web browser, just a simple interface. Let's go back to the import. And now we have the following thing. I have reused all the functionality of OpenChrome of my own RCP application. It's there. So no extra effort is necessary. What we have now, too, is that we have a file here, which normally can be downloaded by click on it. I don't know why it's not working. You have to say, please copy the link into the browser and then download the file here. Yeah, I think it's a kind of header reference thing, something. I have to have a look at it. Okay, we save it back to our file system. We have it here. Now you see it's the without one. It's not true because now it's with. So, as to say, and we go into OpenChrome. We have now our file here again. It's so with. We open it. Now we see peaks. Great. And we can go to the peaks perspective, which is here, and see, cool. There we have, what's the molecule view? Oh, it's gone over. I like these good-looking pictures and so on, so I molecule view, come back again, please. Here we are. And so, here we are again. So, we did the work on the web server and can reuse it in our desktop application. And this was the first showcase, and yeah, this is a kind of working example or proof of concept that it works. We can reuse our technologies. We don't have to reinvent the wheel all and over again. And the further step would be to separate the worker environment with the front end, the UI, because we have servlets, we can just supply JSON documents, which we send back to some UI, maybe using Eclipse Scout or other technologies, and have a really rich platform, which, let's go back to the browser, which is beneficial for our users because, reload the peaks, sorry, because that's easy, understandable for most of the laboratories we work for. That's not the complete story. I forgot one thing to mention, is the preferences thing. Let's have a look back again at the application, at our workspace. In the, I don't know if you remember, or do you use in your applications the preferences, dialogues and everything? So what I discovered there is that the preferences are commonly used and instantiated in the UI bundle. And you say, okay, you show the preferences in the UI, but effectively you want to use the preferences in, I'll go back down here. You want to use the preferences also in your model bundle, or more to say, the model bundle shall be the place to store your preferences and not the UI bundle, because the UI is only a visualization layer on top of your model. So I had a look and I investigated how Eclipse used these preference store, and there's an easy workaround or easy solution for it, because they did it really well in the beginning and said, okay, I preferences or I Eclipse preferences, it's a model, it has no JFace or UI dependencies, so we can use it in our model bundle instead of instantiating it in the UI bundle. So let's have a look. Can I find some plugins here? Yeah, we can use it for, do I have some plugin here? Have a look. Okay. I tried to find a simple, okay, the peak detector. Peak detector is to show MSD peak detector, which I just shown you. Where do we have it? It's, this is the wrong one, this is the wrong one, this is the wrong one. Ah, okay, it's under the, sometimes I get crazy going to all this stuff, but yeah, you get used to it after a while. What we have in here is the, exactly. So I created a thing, a preference supplier, which extends to my own preference supplier object, but what he is doing effectively, he creates an instance scope, and you can add some default values here, which are defined, and normally you also run the preference initializer from within the UI package, but you can run the preference initializer also from the model package. So effectively, you go here to plugin XML, and I think you know it here, and what we have here is the org.eclipse core runtime without JFace dependencies, and run your initializer in the model bundle. The only thing you have to take care of then is that you want to display the preferences and the initialized preferences things in the UI, in your preference dialog, which is commonly known. So we have to go to the activator in the UI package, and I created a small thing which is called initialize the preference store, which takes the model preference supplier. That's it. No more modifications. We have it clearly separated into model and UI. All right. I have a look at my stopwatch, so I'm perfectly in time, 29 minutes. I have 30 minutes. Hopefully I gave you a short introduction that's possible to combine RCP and web applications. This is a proof of concept, but we will go further on this way, and I hope that I inspired you to do the same. And I think, yeah, now we have time for a few questions, and hopefully I can help you. Thanks.